Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Just checking on a few things. And going on, good evening, good evening. Welcome in, welcome in. Tonight we're talking to the CEO and owner of Absolute Joy Business, Skin, taking care of yourself. And I have come fresh face. Like there is no makeup. Okay, lip gloss. If I have to have anything on at any moment in time, it's gonna be lip gloss. Like so, but I will say this is my skin untouched, no makeup, minus lip gloss. I do have lip gloss and the two lip glosses I am using. I always use this. Diamond Dolls, love her. And who is this? Danielle Duprier, love him. Love the duo thing. So I always use the darker side. This is the chocolate. What is this? Ooh, pancakes and syrup. Yeah, that's what yeah. Pancakes and syrup, baby. Good evening. How you guys doing? Welcome in. Happy Black History Month. We're about to turn it up in like 2 seconds as everybody else is like dying down and like not having conversations. We're gonna ramp it up and get a little spicy up in here. But we're gonna have I just saw her into the room. Where is she? There's Miss Ann B. Skincare and oh my god, all the things that you want to know and want to talk about. And now that you guys know what my skin looks like, let me like adjust some things. Now that you guys know this is actually my skin without anything on it, like freshly washed. All I have on is lip gloss. That's it. Um, but the reason that and I'm trying to like branch out and do a little bit more but less with my skin, to make sure that it stays like healthy and it looks good and make sure that people can still see your name. There you go. Absolute Joy. Hey, Miss Ann Beal. Absolute Joy. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I'm trying to find like a block of wood on my desk to put
A
my
book, maybe a book, or like what other creative things, or one of your fancy multi, oh my god, did I lose the earring? I just lost the earring. And I love these earrings. Multi-purpose, multi-use, or is it? Yeah, I got the right side. Multi-purpose, multi-use. I love these earrings. These. Oh wait, what happened to? Am I putting it in wrong?
beautiful.
These are from Shop Koi. I love these earrings. I love her line. But as I go on and as I've created have this platform and built out this platform, I'm realizing more and more each day how we have to make sure that we know who we're shopping with. And it's not just the scams. It's about support and being there to make sure that we have these businesses for a longer time than a year or two, because it's really difficult to stay in business. As you know, like you've got a whole skincare line. Like how easy, how difficult was it for you to get to this point? Like it is beautiful packaging, mind you. So
Mm.
I want to also the reason that I took all my makeup off, or like the foundational makeup, because I typically just use like one to Myrick's. I took it all off because I want people to see what my skin looks like now, and I'm going to use your product for the next like 2 months, and people can see what it looks like in like 2 3 months. Skincare doesn't repair itself overnight. It doesn't. The skincare, hair care products, it doesn't. Oh my goodness, it doesn't. It doesn't fix itself overnight. Let me change out my earrings. I always come with more. There's always a backup. That doesn't change itself overnight. It doesn't fix itself in 24 hours, or there's no like, oh my God, it was beautiful the next day. That doesn't happen.
And not only doesn't that happen, but it particularly doesn't happen for us because we tend to have very sensitive and reactive skin. So if that stuff is burning or itching or whatever, don't do it. Don't do it. Our skin
And
is.
that's why, so for those of you who don't know, I have sarcoidosis. And after being diagnosed with sarcoid, I have realized my skin is very sensitive now.
Mhm.
And one of the things, I heard my doctor say it, but I really didn't pay attention because there's so much information that was flying at me. I was just like, what? Sensitive skin? Like lesions? What? So now that I don't have, I was blessed to not have to deal with lesions, but my skin is very sensitive. It's more, I'll say it's much more sensitive than it's ever been my entire life.
Yep.
And like, I was one of those people, like, you could, and I'm not saying people hit me, but I was very active, into a lot of sports. I could bump into things over and over again, never bruised, not a scratch on me. The only thing that you would see, like a mosquito bite, yeah. But now, listen, I bump into a wall. My skin's like, yeah, we're gonna tear there. We're gonna give in. Yeah,
That's all just inflammation. And so over time, one of the things you may notice is that as we hit a certain age, as we start to, go up in years, is that we get more
over 50.
looking like you got the glow. So it's okay. No,
Oh,
but and even among a lot of my friends, I discovered that a lot of people were having issues with skin sensitivities and all of a sudden reacting to things. And my daughters are all have extremely sensitive skin. And so when we start to try to think about, okay, how can we elevate our skincare and start to, deal with things that happen as the years and the decades go by, I found that a lot of the products out there don't really meet our needs, nor do they address how we manifest age. And so everything's focused on fine lines and wrinkles, and while you're looking for the fine lines and wrinkles, you're ignoring the dark marks, the hyperpigmentation, all of the ways that we have signs of aging. And so
yeah.
then I wanted to do something different.
So, and I come to learn one of the products that I started using early on, and one of the women that actually convinced me to make sure I take care of my skin was Brooke from Vegan Lux Aesthetics. Her entire line completely vegan. She's vegan herself, and I was shocked as to all the information that she provided. Like that, most of the skincare, especially like the Korean brands or the Asian brands, are marketed for or created for Asian women, and our skin is different. Like we have much more melanin in our skin. And I think most people will find that many of the businesses that are started by black women are primarily for black women, and other people could like kind of jump in on that boat because kind of in my mind, what's good for a darker complexion works for lighter complexion. But the opposite doesn't seem to be true.
No.
So
No,
yeah.
and kind of like how like a lot of influencers jumped on Miele's products and said, "Hey, wait, this is really helping my hair too." But it's because our products for our hair focus on moisturization, focus on making sure that we're gentle with our hair, focus on like scalp health in a way that a lot of the other products out there don't. And so a lot of what's really good for us is good for others. But for us as women of color, one, inflammation. We are much more prone to inflammation, and inflammation that manifests as dark marks. So whether it's like because of acne or because of sun exposure or because of something that touched your skin, this is where we have issues. Two, we age differently. And as I was saying before, instead of fine lines and wrinkles, so even for me, I was like, oh, I'm so cute because I don't have fine lines and wrinkles. And then one day I was like, where did all these freckles come from? So I'm playing like freckles, but they're really
I've
like
got a triangle of moles underneath. Yeah, and they've been there for a minute, but I'm just like, don't pop out my face. Just
so, and I'm
stay.
like looking for these wrinkles, then you're like getting all of these dark marks. And then also is the fact that a lot of the products that are marketed to us really have profoundly questionable ingredients. And so just to backtrack, I'm a physician, I'm a researcher, and a lot of my work has been in health disparities. And one of the things that we've known for many years is that, for example, we have more issues with uterine fibroids. We have more issues with breast cancer in terms of it's much more aggressive among us. We have a lot of issues with autoimmune diseases, much more common among particularly Black women. And no one's asking, like, why is that the case? And so when you start to look into it and look at, for example, some of these tumors that are much more common among us, many of them have parabens inside of them. And
Mm.
we can't say because the research hasn't done that parabens cause these tumors, but we do know that we use products more than others. We do know that parabens and other types of preservatives are much more common in the products that are marketed to us. And we do know that these products or these ingredients show up in the tumors that are in our bodies. And so my feeling is if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, we're going to
It's good.
actually, and there's actually some research now that is coming out. I'm going for that holy grail of our creamy crack, but there's now research which is coming out, which is showing that there's an association.
Oh, did you freeze up? You froze up for a second. Maybe she got a phone call. It happens. There you go.
Use of hair relaxers and uterine fibroids and uterine cancer among Black women. So for
Yeah.
me, the products that are meant for us are not supposed to be clean because it's cute or because we want to, eat granola. For me, it's a health imperative, particularly for Black women.
Yeah, I think as we get older, I think one of the things that, like, for those of you who are like Gen Xers or baby boomers, maybe later or older millennials, you'll find that as you get older, you start realizing, okay, all these issues, some of the medical issues that I'm having are based on the products that I'm using. So you stop like I stopped using relaxers when I was like 40. But the fact that I had a relaxer or I was getting my hair relaxed from the age of 10 to to the age of 40, and we were the experiment. Like our generation was that generation that was experimented on because no one knew what the side effects were to have relaxer in your hair. Nobody understood the dynamic of the fallout, what that would look like, or how it would manifest in our bodies. And after so many years, like people started realizing, like, okay, maybe this isn't good for us. And I know, like, I still have friends who still have relaxers and who have a lot of medical issues, and I'm just like, listen, I went through the big chop because I was just like, I don't want to say it's a vanity thing, but a little vanity. I'm like, okay, every year that I had the relaxer, my hair was constantly falling out in chunks.
Yep, yep.
And you know what? Before my hair completely falls out, let me see what my hair looks like natural. Like and just be able to touch my hair. And now I have this addiction to be able to touch my hair anytime I reach up. So like that's why I'm like Afro Puff Girl. But this is like one of those things, like, and I'm constantly looking for natural products that I can use on my hair or on my skin to make sure that it's easy because Lord knows I can't do anything complicated. I am not one of those 8 stages of shutting this all down kind of people, or 5 stages of waking up. I'm like, listen, I typically use topicals at the bar soap, and then there's a topicals eye cream. And I was like, I made sure I had everything here. So I use this as like this under eye thing. So for people who don't know, my sarcoid manifested in my left eye, one of the places that was insanely inflamed, so much that my left eye was swollen shut. So I constantly see this darkening underneath my eyes, and anytime that I have a flare up, my eye will leak, and I'm constantly touching my eye. So I'm just like, okay, don't touch your face. Don't touch your face, don't touch your eye, and just relax and just be calm and don't have flare ups. But I was constantly looking for something that's a little bit more natural that'll help like even out my skin tone, but still be easy. Like even if I'm like going to my friends or hanging out with my mom, down south, I could just like throw it in a bag and travel with it, make it easy. Like I can't do 18 products in the morning. Just, and I'm not quite sure how necessary it is to have all of those products. Yeah.
So it's actually better to do a two-step routine consistently than a 20-step routine once a week.
Oh,
Consistency is the main thing. And so the more you can keep a routine simple so that people can stick to it, then the more likely skin is going to benefit from it. So that's very important.
keep it
Keep
simple. Keep it simple. Cindy says I'm part of the lawsuit against the hair relaxer. Yeah, causing was it endocrine cancer.
Hmm?
Been through chemo. It's like I don't think people understand like how difficult and how detrimental those chemicals were. And when they did do what was that documentary, Good Hair? The
Yeah.
Good Hair documentary. And I appreciate him doing the documentary, but I wish he would have gone further into it. But he was trying to keep it entertaining. But when one of the scientists heard about one of the chemicals that we were using to put in our hair, he was just like, people are putting that in their hair? He was
Right.
just like, oh, that's not good.
For mouth. Yep. Yep. Yep.
And that's yeah, but that's the thing, we didn't know, none of us knew. And that's like, and not only did we not know, but when people did know, we still weren't informed. Like other people knew it was detrimental to us, but they didn't share that information. And that's why you can have these lawsuits.
It's multiple levels. So I think that in general, there's not a lot of respect for women and for the products that we have. So, for example, when we first started Absolute Joy, we were manufactured in Europe. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because the standards over there are higher.
Much
And
higher.
we're then importing it here into the US. And so, as I was trying to, like, take my stuff through customs, I was like, making a document of all of the ingredients and all of the stuff that I think would have been should have been asked about like the manufacturer, all of that sort of stuff. And my lawyer was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm making a dossier." She said, "It is terrifyingly easy to produce stuff overseas and then import it and sell it in the US market." So I think in general, for a lot of personal care products, there's not a lot of oversight. And that was historically. I don't want to even talk about what might be going on now. But there's very little oversight. So I think beauty and skincare in general is not well managed. And then when we're talking about products that are targeted to us, I think it's even worse. And so there's a lot that actually gets imported in. There's been reports of like skin bleaching and skin lightening products that have
Yeah.
mercury in it. So like we have to be very mindful of reading these labels. And as you said, not only just looking at um, natural, because while we do like natural, what we also want is effective. And what I also often say to people is that, poison ivy is natural, poison ivy is organic, poison ivy is green, but you wouldn't want it on your skin. So just
There you go.
natural doesn't necessarily mean, but you do want to have like a science behind it to show that it's safe to use on our skin.
Mhm. She was the whole. She was. I love Absolute Joy. Yeah. I'm gonna try it out. Listen. I think everybody, if you want to. So this is the travel size of the cleanser, the Absolute Joy cleanser line. So this is the travel size. If you don't want to invest in the full size, this is a great way to start something. Like if you see something that has a travel size, get the travel size.
Yep.
And this way, it's small, it's easy, it's compact, and if you need to travel with it, go ahead. But this it's like your own little tester size. So go shop, and there's a sale. I love sales.
Yeah. Well, we do it on purpose because, again, a lot of our customers have sensitive skin, right? And so, in
Mhm.
fact, about 65% of Black women say they have sensitive skin as compared to 30% of the general population. So, I am a huge fan of testing so that people don't like invest and then find that they have a reaction. And because we do have like moringa oil, we do have sunflower oil, there are some people who do have allergies to this. We use
Mhm.
rose oil, so there are some people who have rose allergies. So, it's very important to definitely test the products. And with those travel kits, not only does it allow you to test, but the way that we set it up is that when you purchase them, then you get, I think they cost like $25, but then
Yeah.
you get a coupon for $25 off when you buy the larger set. So it's really like a no cost investment to try, especially for
Yeah.
sensitive skin.
I look for things now that I know. The only thing that I'm gonna put on my skin are products that are made by Black people with intentionality, simply because Black founders of skincare products created the product line specifically so that we had something healthier and that was meant for our skin. And I get it. Not every product line or not every brand is going to resonate with you or work well with your skin. This is why we have a skincare section in the guide. Like we have a depth and breadth of a lot of skincare brands. So if you want to try out anything that's going viral, which I'm not a huge fan of, like how do you feel, Doc? How do you feel about the trendy skincare products that pop up? Like, oh, use snail mucus on your face.
So
Okay, just use have somebody slap you and then spit you. Yeah, like what? Like how? When you see these trendy things pop up, like what is your first reaction? You're just like,
you know what my first reaction is? Google Scholar. Show me the research that it works. It's literally that simple. And the things that work are the things that are simple and are like tried and true. And so when you like do Google Scholar, say snail mucin and skin, or any kind of even like stem cells and skin, like all of these sorts of ingredients
buzzwords.
supposedly, yeah, they really don't have that much of an impact. And so, taking an approach that's science based, that's evidence based, that we know is what works, and that keeps it simple so that people can do it every single day. And so, for everything that we have, we're very deliberate about making sure that there's a scientific basis for it, and that there's a lot of experience based upon years of clinical practice.
Now, as a small business owner, when you see people come through, like now everybody knows I talk about scams and deals and steals and all the weird things out in these social media streets. As a small business owner, what are the hardest things that you have to deal with when? Because I don't know if you're dealing with your content being stolen or anything along those lines, because the trendy things like will come and go. Like I don't know who's still talking about turmeric kojic scrub pads anymore. or even though those lines are out there and they absolutely work for some people, that shouldn't be the only thing that's out there for you. And the scammers that came along with that trend were, oh my god, they were like, we couldn't keep up with the websites. Like, we have a section in our guide that showcase how many people, how many different brands were copied off of like the one or two small businesses, and they just ran with it.
Yeah,
So
that's
when it,
that's a huge. So one of the things that people should do if they're like, okay, this is company legitimate, go look at their return policy and then look at where and what is the address to receive returns. That usually tells you everything you need to know about if they don't accept returns, and if they do, is it in the US? That usually tells you everything you need to know about the company. But for us, when we've had all kinds of issues. So we're over on Amazon, our products are listed there. And I take pride in the reviews that we have and how we have scored on our reviews. And then last summer, we had an issue where Amazon opened up reviews to anyone, whether or not they had purchased from a brand or not.
I was
That
like,
was a problem. All of a sudden we started to get these 1 and 2 star reviews, and I was like, I don't put out 1 and 2 star products. And so then, but I am open to hearing feedback, like if people have issues.
yeah,
So when I went and looked at those 1 and 2 star reviews, no comments, not a verified customer, so someone was coming in and putting
knowing their score.
reviews on this. So there's a couple of things that I did. Amazon allows you to list yourself as a small business, a black-owned business, a woman-owned business. I am now a small business, period.
Mhm.
Woman owned. I'm not black. Let me say that. I'm not listed as woman owned, and I'm not listed as black owned, but I am listed as a small business. And then what we did is I just reached out to our followers on social media and I said, for those of you who have purchased, please come and write an honest review. If there's a problem, let me know. But if you had a great experience, also let me know and make sure that it is reflected. So we had then a number of additional reviews come in, so that brought our scores back up. And then all of a sudden Amazon said, well, there seems to be a lot of activity in terms of your reviews, so now we're going to close it to just verified purchasers only, which I'm like, fine.
It should have been limited to that only from the beginning.
Right.
But okay.
So there was that. Then I had an issue because I'm a physician, and there were people who were creating TikTok profiles with my name, and they had gone over to my Instagram account, which is now private. So I had to make it private. And they were doing screenshots of pictures of me and then setting up fake accounts with my name. So then we had a fight with TikTok about that to take down these accounts. So now the only account that's out there is official Dr. Ann Beal. And again, the one over on TikTok is public, but the one here on Instagram is private. And so we've had to deal with issues with that. But let's keep it real talk. Then we have issues of my own customers. So, ladies, um, order a product from Amazon, then return it. Okay, you're entitled to do it. Then
Okay.
order it again, and then say it never was delivered. Then order it again, and then return it. And so they think, I don't know if they think that they're scamming Amazon, but no, they're scamming us
In the small business, yeah.
as a small business. And so there's a couple where I'm able to send an email through Amazon. And the way that I framed it is I see that you returned it because Amazon doesn't allow us to talk directly to customers. So I was like, so I see that you returned this and I'm just looking for any feedback to help, make your experience better. And in fact, I see that you've returned this 3 times. So I'm wondering, why do you purchase it and return it 3 times?
Why? Yeah. What would be the point of that?
Yeah.
Are they
Point.
keeping the Are they keeping the product? Are they sending nothing back? Like,
I think they're keeping the product is what I think they're going on. Or they might be reselling it. I don't know. But there's there's been like stuff like that. I would say the vast majority of our customers are amazing. They're wonderful. They give us great feedback. They give us great reviews. But we have a couple that I'm just like, all right. And if there was a way to just say, okay, you're banned, I would do it. But
yeah. Now, how do you feel about Amazon's new, like, and it's, I don't know if it's a pilot program or how they're going to completely roll this out, but they're actually scraping the internet, and your website of all products on all websites to put on Amazon. so that they can sell it through Amazon, but not necessarily give you the real business,
Yep.
the customer's information for retargeting. Like,
So it's complicated. So one, let's say you were selling I don't know, a pair of glasses, right?
mhm,
And you can sell them through a bunch of different providers who will like try to undersell each other. But for Amazon, you can be a seller who sells something like glasses, or you can be a brand where you sell your product. So we are a brand who sells our product. No one else is allowed to sell our product because we don't want anybody underselling us,
yeah,
or not having control over what goes inside those bottles. So we want to make sure that we can guarantee the integrity of the products that get to our customers. What Amazon does do, so we're also listed on Macy's. So Macy's, 90% of Macy's sales are done on discount. And so when Macy's leans on us and says, we want you to discount for like the holidays or Mother's Day or whatever, what Amazon does is they scrub the internet. And if they see that our products are available on Macy's, then Amazon leans on us to say, we want you to match that
a
price.
discount.
Right. And so then that way, and if we don't, then they're like, okay, then we are going to not delist you, but it will be harder for your customers to find us on our website. And so what I've learned that I have to do is whatever price I have, whether it's my page, Macy's, or Amazon, it has to be the same. And so generally that's only an issue during the holidays because that's the only time that we really do sales that are really out there in the public domain.
Mhm.
Times of the year we have for our email subscribers only coupons that they will receive by email. So then they go in and they can get the discount, but it's not listed on our webpage so that Amazon doesn't come in and lean on us. And Amazon takes like 30%. So it's not like, yeah, it's it's more than enough, Jim. Yeah.
Wow. um,
That's what that adds.
wow.
That's
Wow, 30%. Okay, okay. Okay. That's a bite.
yeah.
That's a bite.
By
Like,
pay 30% of the full price. So if you discount it, we're the ones who hold that discount plus their 30% of the full price. I love me some Amazon.
oh my god. So when it comes to, but you still have to market, you still have to, create brand awareness. Like how, like, and this is the side of the business side of business that a lot of people don't want to know or don't think about. The small business still has to advertise. Like,
Yep.
and that all comes out of the revenue.
Yep.
Like, all of that comes out of your revenue. Like, if you're not selling, then you're in the hole on creating content or advertising in some way, shape, or form. That's still going to cost you. You have to pay for advertising. Like, you have to let people know where you are, what you have, and what you're doing. It's not a cheap or easy thing. And someone had just is there's a guy on social media who's calling out these influencers in New York City specifically because he lives there, and he's like, he goes, these influencers are charging these small businesses thousands of dollars just to make a food review,
Yep.
and these small businesses can't afford that. Like, how? Like, I don't think people quite understand. Most of these influencers don't have businesses.
Don't have businesses. And then if you say, my thing is you eat what you kill, right? So if you're an influencer and you want to charge X amount of money, then you should generate the same amount of money at the very least. So I'm not even making a profit, but I'm at least like staying afloat.
Yeah,
But it's pretty for us, it really depends. Every business is different. But for us, one, we have a very high repeat customer rate. So our repeat customer rate is about 30% higher than the industry norm. And so for us, we are willing to invest in what's called customer acquisition
yeah,
because even if that costs a lot of money, most of the customers stay on. And once they're our customer, they stay our
to
customer.
stay. Yeah,
The other thing is that we do a lot to encourage our customers to tell a friend. So every email, every message, even like if you go to our webpage, there's a 30% off offer that you don't even have to be an established customer. But if you make a referral, then the person, once they purchase, they get 30% off. And then the person who makes the referral, they get 30% off. So we do a lot to try to generate word of mouth. And then
hmm
yes, we do some ads, but we're very targeted in who We do our
I
ads.
don't. Yeah.
And honestly, there's sometimes when I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to like turn off these ads for a little bit, or like every other week, or do whatever. But I'm constantly looking at these numbers and how can we get the word in front of as many people as possible. And we've had a lot of customers say, "This is a great brand. I wish I had heard about it before." And I'm like, I wish you had heard about it before too. But
The reality is, like typically, and I'm finding it on social media specifically because this is where we are. We're on social media for the majority of their day. More people are looking at social media than they are watching TV. So the rules and regulations that are on television that weren't put in place until maybe 5 or 10 years after TV was, had been out there for a while. So they start putting in regulation onto what advertisers could and couldn't say, what you like truth in advertising. All of these policies and regulations that we're used to are not on social media. There's no regulation for social media. There's some policies that people are like, oh yeah, and then you can lean heavily on copyright infringement and trademark infringement. But to do that, you still have to get a lawyer
yeah,
to go serve a cease and desist, which that's an investment of $300 an hour.
yeah,
So when it comes to what you see on social media, when I talk about, and there's going to be a whole new series that I'm starting, Stop Stealing from Black People, especially during Black Business Month, where people are stealing our content to scam people of color, period, because it's how the content of what they're stealing, how they're advertising it. And it absolutely is like this industry of false advertisement because you can't tell me that here's one business that's setting up the websites 20 26. I think it was that last count, and now it's at 27 because we just found a new website. So one business sets up the websites, they steal content from all real small businesses or real influencers, put it on their website, and then steal someone's content. Another company that comes in is the marketing company that sells marketing plans for people. So now you have corporations investing in running ads of stolen content so that people can get scammed on social media.
yeah.
This
But
is,
we have to be smarter consumers,
yeah,
right? Because the only reason why they do it is not only because they get away with it, but they make money doing
they
it.
make a lot of money.
So even
They
if
make a lot of money.
for a month and they make $1 million in a month, and then like they get some cease and desist, it's still worth it for them. So we
Yeah.
as consumers, particularly for the brands that target us, have to start to become much more savvy as consumers.
And my goal, honestly, for our platform is to let you introduce people to real businesses, real business owners with real products who have a real interest in providing a great item or great product to the community, but also share with them who not to shop with. It's great to say, "Oh, buy this product," but even some of the influencers don't know who's the product that they're holding up is a business that's scamming people. Like
Yes,
I
they that I think it's part of their responsibility to not just accept what comes, but to to do their homework.
to do their own due diligence. But I really want people to start understanding we have to kind of mix the old with the new. That old idea of, we used to go to the corner store and know who that corner store person was. Like I knew Mr. Sam, and then Mr. Pete's was on the corner, and they knew us, they knew our parents. We need to kind of go back to that kind of feel and vibe because this way we get to know what skincare product companies I like to shop with, what clothing brands I like to shop with, what businesses I want to splurge on, especially when it comes to like jewelry or any kind of high-end product, high-end clothing articles. But when it comes to like your day-to-day purchases, all of those can be purchased from small businesses. All the items that you're wanting, that you're looking for, you just need to know who to go shopping with. So
The
yeah.
toilet paper and paper towel in our house, black owned business, real. I'll give them
Mm,
a shout out. It's beautiful bamboo paper, and that's who we use. But one of the things also is that we as consumers, we need to start to shop for value, not price.
yeah. Yeah.
And we need to start to look for products that are worth our investing in. So, everyone's walking around with say the Gucci belt. We all know how much those cost and they're proud to do that. But then when you say, okay, I have a skincare lotion or I have a hair care product or I have a body lotion that costs more than what you find in CVS, then people are gonna balk at that. But if and then what happens is particularly for a lot of the black owned brands, then when the black owned brands get acquired and then they start to change the formulas, then people react and say, okay, well, this is not working the way it used to, but like really good quality ingredients cost money.
Costs a lot of money. Yeah, it's like it. I think from my position, I wish there was a better understanding that it's okay to be a big fish in a small pond. Like I wish we could lean on that. I think what ends up happening is because like all the products that I have used over the years that have been bought out by a larger corporation where the ingredients have changed in some capacity and the product isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Now I have to start all over again and find another small business to go shopping with to buy something similar or along the same lines, give the same feel of what I had before, but that's no longer available. And I get it's no true fault of some of these businesses. Some of these businesses, their plan is to build their business to the point where it does get acquired. Some people actually grow fat so fast that their only option is to be acquired because it's grow like their business is growing that quickly. But they need extra money. They need an investor to onboard to make sure that they can cover that the cost of growing out your business. It's not cheap or free to like to scale a business or a brand, and people think like, oh, we'll just sell more. That doesn't like selling more doesn't cover the numbers.
So you got to be able to retire, right? You got to be
Yeah.
able to.
Selling more doesn't mean that you're gonna be able to successfully scale the business. Yeah, you sell more, but that means you're still shipping out more products. The cost of shipping goes up every 3 months. I really would love people. I would love for a business to be like, you know what? Once we get to this level that we're distributing in this region, we're good and we have consistent sales. That way we can serve our community. That they're not as interested into like blowing it out the gate. They just want to have a great product where they can control the ingredients and have, or if they absolutely are into that space of scaling, be comfortable that you have to raise the price.
Yeah, yeah,
Be
yeah.
comfortable with that.
Well, one of the things, so I have a lot of folks who come and ask me for advice, which is funny to me because I've made so many mistakes. So my advice is don't make all the mistakes that I made. But one of the things that I say to them is that as they're thinking about their business, is what kind of business? And what I mean is like what size? What's your exit strategy? Like how big do you want it to be? How much time do you want to put into it? Do you want to manage people? Do you not want to manage people? And what's nice about business is that there's no right or wrong answer. You can do whatever you want,
Yeah,
but the key is to be clear about what you do and don't want to do, and then to stick with that and to
yeah.
be true to that. So
And I think one of you tapped on like one like keyword that I use all the time, like exit strategy. I don't think people think about that. Like, and for those who don't know, the exit strategy is like, how you plan on getting out of this business? Is it going to die with you, or you going to sell it to somebody? You're going to pass it on to one of your kids? Do your kids want it? Are you like, and this is how some people actually get other businesses or go into like laundromats because
yeah,
their kids didn't want to go into laundromat, so they're selling their laundromat, they're selling their business, and there's absolutely different platforms that you can go to go buy small businesses and different ways of doing that. But when it comes to once you create a business and you know that you want to grow this thing out and this is your baby, one of the most important phases of the business is the exit strategy. How are you planning on getting out of it?
yeah. So if you can sell it, you can sell it for parts, you can close it. I mean, there's a lot of options. So when I started Absolute Joy, is interesting. I started it because I wanted to have a small business, and I wanted to have a product, and I wanted to meet a need that's in the market because there's really not good anti-aging for women of color. But I also wanted something which treats aging not as something that we should fear or want to run away from, but frankly, as a blessing. And you and I both, and particularly in our community, aging truly is a blessing because not
Yeah.
many of us get to age. And so I wanted something which like messaged about aging in a very positive fashion. So the first thing that we created was a retinol and vitamin C oil because I knew that we're a new brand. Nobody knows who we are. So I knew that the first product had to be something that people would use and actually see a major difference in their skin. And so we still stand as one of very, very few products that combine both the retinol and the vitamin C, which are two pillars
Was
for.
that did I have one of those? I have the daily hydrating.
Nope, is that that?
And then
That's our SPF. That's
and then
the
I have the cafe au lait and the mocha. I have two different ones. And I love that they come in colors so that it stays with my skin tint. But
exact.
there's not everybody's beige.
Yeah, so
Like,
that was basically for anti-aging of retinol, vitamin C, sunscreen. With
yeah, I
that,
have the
that gives
protein peptide. Yeah.
that's Okay.
And then, and I like, I know I'm gonna have. Okay, I'm not gonna. Let me have more positive words of power, positive thinking. So the aqua infusion skin cream
That's moisture.
that comes with the tiny little spoon.
Why? Because our fingers are dirty, and when there's a lot of botanicals, you do not want to contaminate your lotion. So we give you a spoon, dip it out, put it on.
And it makes sense. And I will say, the do I have it nearby? Yes. So Danessa Myricks has like I love yeah, she's got one of the spoons on her on the blowing bomb potter, which I love. Yeah, I love that. I'm yummy number nine. But my question, I'm just like, maybe I could put a Velcro thingy, like a have it stick to the top in some way. I just don't want to lose the spoon. It just
Ah, just stick it right there.
I just okay, like, but yeah, but like, for me, I was looking for, and then this when I went to go purchase something from your website, I was looking for something that's gonna give me a little bit more moisture because I love topicals. Don't get me wrong, but so I use the soap and then I use what is this topical cream? It's a brightening clearing serum. And I just put that underneath my eyes, and then I'm just like, okay, so the rest of my skin is kind of like dry.
Uh, well, also, and what I really like about topicals, so similar to what I was saying about let's not fight our skin, but let's work with it.
Mhm.
Topicals do take ethos. They're really targeting young women, and they talk a lot about imperfect skin and having acne. But again, it's about accepting your skin for what it is and not trying to fight it. And so,
Yeah.
for what we've carved out is for more mature women, but our skincare needs are a little bit different in terms of what it is that we need. And so that's why we do have a lot of the moisturization. I'll be honest. So that was like, I don't know, the third or fourth product. And one of my mentors was like, oh, you got to add a moisturizer. And I was like, man, there's a lot of good moisturizers out there. Like, so I said, okay, let me just, good, the hyaluronic and the niacinamide and the vitamin C and all the good stuff. And it really is moisturizing. It really does work. That product shot up to be our number two product. And I was just like using it as an afterthought in my thought, but it really good moisturizer. It's a really
It's
good moisturizer. So
it's the one your hero the hero product that you didn't even expect to be your hero product. Yeah. Yeah.
that was fun. And it has like one of our highest, like I was just looking at my data, it has one of our highest like repeat customer rates as well. So that our best ones, the gel cleanser. I was like, it's a cleanser, but that's the other one that like people like love it. It's one of our top sellers, and it's actually one of the other ones. So the top three for us in terms of repeat purchase rate is the retinol and vitamin C, that moisturizer that you have in your hand, and
Hmm.
gel cleanser. Those are our top ones.
Now, I only use a cleanser. I use a cleanser once a week, like typically every Sunday or Monday, and that's it. I do a cleansing once a week, and then there's a clay mask I do once a quarter. Like,
Interesting.
'cause yeah, because they're just like, oh, it's gonna pull out so much of the impurities out of your skin. Don't do this every other day or once a month. Like this is one of those like once every couple of months kind of thing. And I can understand why. Because it's taking so much out of off your skin.
Is it a green mask with bentonite in it?
Yes. It
Okay.
is. It's the. Do I have it? I was like, oh no, it's downstairs. Because it's super powdery fine, and you throw in a couple little tablespoon or teaspoons of water, mix it up, put it on, let it sit for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then wash it off.
That
My
is some-
skin looks great,
yeah.
but then it's like dry as all get out. Now I'm always like, where is the moisturizer that I need?
Uh,
Yeah.
we actually don't have masks in our line, but with the bentonite, I was like, it's a little too strong for our skin. Look
Mm-hmm.
for something with Rasool clay, Rasssoul clay. That comes from Morocco, and it also cleanses the same way that bentonite does, but it is not as harsh. And I'm not surprised that it comes from Africa. So try to find products that have that Rasool clay. I love it personally.
Okay, that's okay. I actually has it was another different it was a hair mask that had the Russell Clay in it. And I'm just like, ah, I really
Yes.
like that.
It's nice because it's not as stringent as
Yeah.
the bentonite clay. So that bentonite will really.
Oh my God. Like what, like after I took it off, I'm like, wow, my skin feels super clean, but it felt like it pulled out every possible impurity and then possibly some things healthy in my skin as well. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I'll just use this. I think I was looking like once a quarter or even like a little bit longer after that. I'm just like, I need to space this out because it's doing too much, for my skin. And again, for those people who don't know, I have sarcoid. My skin is very sensitive at this juncture. Um, yeah, I just want something that's easier on my skin, that won't scar or dry me all the way down to the floor, and I feel like I need to like either sweat to return the moisture back to my skin or put on some kind of heavy cream to re-moisturize my skin. I don't want to keep doing that. So
So I have a question because one of the things that we're starting to do now is as people come to our webpage, I'm asking them what's your top skincare concern. And we're doing that to not only gather the information and frankly to get them to sign up, but I want to make sure that as we are like, as I'm writing blogs or we're sending out information, that we're sending out information that people will find very useful. So for example, for anti-aging, we don't use the term anti-aging, we actually use the term skin longevity. And
hmm
we talk about that. We talk about hydration. We talk about skin sensitivity. So I'm curious to hear from the folks who are here on the live today. What are some of the biggest concerns that they have, or if not even that they have, that they're aware of, that people out there like, having problems
with their
addressing.
skin, yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
I want.
Now I will say here's one question that I've had over the years because I've had some experience with it, but I've never had a major issue with acne. But adult acne is a huge thing after a certain age, like which comes out of, I don't want to say nowhere, but how can we possibly avoid that?
Yes. So it's a couple of things. So one, there's an obvious hormonal shift that occurs when we're in our 50s, but
hmm
also it requires kind of rethinking the way that we address acne. So adolescent acne, which we'll use like salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide, those are really designed to dry your skin and pull out a lot of the oils. But one of the things, and actually I suffer from adult acne myself, and I was using a lot of these things that were stripping my skin away. And one of the things that I didn't realize would make such a difference was actually using rosehip oil. And for me, I was like, why would an oil
No.
for my skin? Here's why.
Okay.
And this is actually a principle that doesn't come from, this actually comes from homeopathic medicine, where they treat you with small doses of whatever is bothering you. But the fact is that if you strip your skin, which is what I used to do with glycolic acid and a lot of these different washes, and you pull your oil away, oil helps to protect your skin. So if you pull the oil away, what is your skin going to do? Produce more oil
More real.
itself. So what I found
Mhm.
when I started to use rosehip oil as well as jojoba oil, because jojoba oil is very similar to sebum in a molecular way, so it really feels like your skin has a lot of oil on it. By applying oil to my skin was like, oh, okay, I have
You're
enough.
good.
Don't
Yeah.
need to produce more. So it seems counterintuitive, but that's why putting oil onto your skin, especially the right kinds of oils, can in fact help with some types of acne.
Now there's a comment, a question about pigmentation. What can we do about pigmentation? I've heard some things like, and I know the discoloration underneath my eye. I have to stop touching my eye. That was a huge So it stopped me if I'm wrong. So I was told that the most sensitive skin on your body is this area right underneath your eye. And the more you touch it, the more it gets bruised really easily. And this is why it darkens. So I'm like, but I don't think people understand. My eye absolutely leaks. Like this, like it's not cute. It's not entertaining. But when I have a flare up, my sarcoid will manifest. It first manifests in my left eye, like it did when I first was diagnosed, and it doesn't flare up nowhere near what it looked like before. And there are pictures and videos I've put in some posts, but it will absolutely leak. So I see this like green pussy, yeah, my eye leaks, and I'm just like, and I'm trying not to. I'm like, okay,
That's the
but
information. So here's the thing, but even people who have seasonal allergies, you can tell, like I can tell from looking at someone's face if they have eczema, because you can see like the darkness around their eyes. They will also get dryness underneath here. And then there's actually classic signs of these very fine lines, not the ones that are out here, but they're underneath
underneath.
what you get with eczema. And so all of that is signs of irritation, and any irritation in melanated skin is going to lead to hyperpigmentation. But the thing is that it could be allergies, it could be acne, it could
It
be
could be anything. How do we get rid of it? How do we stop it? Like,
one, your body wants to get rid of it anyway, so you have to support it to increase your cellular turnover. So going back to those three things that I talked about, retinol, vitamin C, sunscreen. Retinol helps with cellular turnover. Vitamin C helps with brightening of your skin. And then sunscreen every single day, even if you're inside, helps to protect your skin. Now, here's the other thing. Blue light exposure causes dark marks and hyperpigmentation. Where does blue light come from? Our TV screens, our phones, our computers. And it causes hyperpigmentation among people who are darker skinned and not in people who are lighter skinned. So,
okay.
so when you're wearing your SPF, you want that. The reason why those products that you have in your hand are tinted is not just because it looks cute, but it's because the tint helps to protect against blue light. And that blue light is what affects people with darker skin tones as compared to people with
Yeah.
lighter skin tone. And that's why you need it every day, even if you're indoors. If you're
Okay.
fixing the phone,
I did have someone tell me that like but she wasn't a skincare person even though but she so the girl who I purchased my Afrin exfoliating that from. Her name is Kiona. Love her. So like that's the one place I get my Afrin exfoliating from is from CC's Closet. And she literally told me the same exact thing. She goes, "Okay, so put on sunscreen every day, put on like a vitamin C serum, and just understand that it's going to take several months for it to like slowly. If nothing's going to happen overnight." And I'm just like, these are all the things I think sound good, and but since it's not coming from a doctor, I'm just like, I don't know.
need sunscreen. Right. Let's say it so the people in the back can hear it. Retinol, vitamin C, sunscreen. That's really, but keep it simple. That's
Yeah.
literally all we need. Not all. That's like 90% of what we need.
And I know like I made a video and you don't I don't think it's on did I put it on this count? So there's a video that I had on hold on, let's see what this looks like. So you don't even see do you see it? Oh, it blends so well. Okay. So there's a video that I made
Colors though.
on there we go.
What color are you using? That looks like it's the cafe.
This is the mocha.
Oh,
This
oh.
is the mocha. The cafe I think will be a little bit lighter.
So, but you know, I put the cafe on your forehead because I want people
Yeah.
to see. The tints are not designed, it's not, this is not foundation. The tints are designed to hide the mineral.
Yeah, and I'm using like my butter thing.
Uh,
So yeah. So that people know that. So yeah, I'm not wearing makeup. So like did it, yeah, there's no makeup. There's no makeup on me. But I needed the towel so that I can get the mocha off my fingertips. But let's go on to this is the Cafe Olay.
And it's really designed not to match like a foundation. It's designed to hide the white tint. And frankly, I got the idea. I was on the beach with my daughter, and I was like, "Don't forget your sunscreen." So she took some sunscreen, put it in her hand, and then she put some foundation because she was like, "I'm not looking like a ghost out here." And I was,
It's true. There's a video that I was going to stitch with that. So I made a video last year, and this is or a year and a half ago on my a previous account. This is my second account. For those people who don't know, this is my second account because someone mass reported this one because I was talking too much about the scams. So somebody paid someone to shut down my account.
"Wow."
Mass reported, shut me down. So there was a video that I talked about. There's this guy who had used sunscreen. He was asking what sunscreen could he use, and he had this mega white cast. I mean, he was a dark skinned, beautiful man, and the level of white cast he had on his skin. And he specifically said he didn't want black girl magic. So I listed your video. I'm like, oh my god, we have a sunscreen section, and yes, you need to wear sunscreen. And the people who came out saying black people don't need sunscreen. I literally could like stab somebody. So
So
this is the Cafe Olay. So and then this is like a dollop, and a dollop goes really a long way. Like when I say I put like a little dollop, this is stretching far, and that's why I'm trying to put it on other fingers to like send out even more. But this is the cafe au lait, and that even disappeared. Like it blends in very well.
Designed to do is because the mineral sunscreens are frankly healthier for our skin. So think about what goes into baby cream, right? Butt cream. It protects your skin. And for people who have very severe acne, we actually sometimes will use zinc oxide on their skin. So these products or these ingredients have the same effect of being really good. So they're excellent for our sensitive skin, but they can leave a little bit of a white cast. And so
Yeah.
by adding the tint, it gets rid of that white cast. So it's designed to hide the whiteness, not hide your skin.
Yeah. So both of those work well. And like the reason I wanted to show people, like, in case you have a little extra, it's tinted. So yes, don't like just start tapping and touching things. Have something to wipe your hands with. But it's tinted for our complexion, which is awesome. But yeah, I like that. The one from I think that worked well. They both work well. But I do like the this is a daily hydrating, and it's nice and light. Like I don't feel like anything's caking on my skin or heavy. I don't really care for any type of heavy liquids on my skin at all. This is another reason why I love the Danessa Myricks product line because it goes on so smoothly, it blends in, and I don't feel like it's weighted in any capacity. I'm not a heavy makeup girly. I'm not gonna, I will never be that girl that comes out with a beat face because 18 levels of getting makeup on so that I've got high, yeah, I don't have that patience. I will play around as if I could try to do it. Like I've got enough makeup here, I can play around with it. But I'll play. But
Yeah.
then on a regular day today, I just want something that's easy, light, and not overwhelming. Because I'm menopausal. I'm menopause. I am not perimenopause. I am menopausal. Um, the yeah, I am full. The hot flashes are still here. If even putting on the setting spray, there are days I just want to stab people with the amount of heat that comes through my body. And people say, "Oh my God, your skin is so oh it glows." I'm like, "No, it's my hot flash. That's the hot flash coming through." But that's the reality of as we age, as we get older, that our body changes, which is going to change your skin. And as we all have learned, your skin is the largest organ in your body.
We don't
So,
have time, we don't have patience. And so one of the reasons I was like, okay, black women, I want you to wear sunscreen. That's a fight. But black women will lotion. We will lotion every
oh,
single day. So that's why I was like, then I will create a lotion. So it has vitamin C, it has green tea, it has hyaluronic acid. I will create a lotion that will also
do
be
the
in,
same thing. Yeah,
right?
because
So
you're gonna trick people.
yeah. So we really have it there as the last step, to put on that lotion before you go out. And oh, by the way, it happens to have some SPF in it.
There, listen, I
Yeah.
I've tried Black Girl sunscreen. That worked really well. And then for people who don't want to invest it because it may be a little bit pricey, get the child version. Like that's like the sneaky out. Like there's a kids version that's cheaper and does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
And actually, she really put the idea of using sunscreen, especially for Black folks, on the map every single day. And so, a lot of the work that she did in terms of just educating us, educating the community, has been very, very important for people to realize that sunscreen is very important. So, again, the three pillars: retinol, vitamin C, sunscreen every single day. And so, shout out to Black Girl Sunscreen for
that'll
what
get rid of the darkness underneath my eyes. Yeah.
First, underneath your eyes. This is why I'm very careful about eye creams because, frankly, sunscreen, retinol, vitamin C, forehead, cheeks, eyes, chin, all of that. It's the same three ingredients that we need for the eyes. And everybody wants that she eye product. I fought for a long time not to have an eye product, but my customers really wanted one, so that's why I was like, okay, let me at least make it with bakuchiol, which actually is like a natural retinol, so that they can wear it during the day because you can't wear retinol during the day, so they
And
can.
would that be the forming? Is that this one
That
or
priming peptide. So what you're looking for is this, which is this is the retinol and vitamin C. So
okay?
this one,
I think, do I have? Okay, I don't think I have that one. Farming peptide. Oh no, I have two of the same ones. Okay, so those are two of the same ones. And then I have that one, and then those two. Did I have another one? Oh, that's something else. No, that's it. Okay, I'll have to come back and go shopping with you.
But that's the one product that I was like, if people are going to try one thing and they want to see a difference in their skin, that's the product.
Oh, okay. Listen, the funny thing is, I'm not the only thing that concerns me, and it really is like retraining how I react to things now is to stop touching my face. Like, like I don't like to me it's kind of like a no brainer. But I'm like, just stop touching your and like people like just stop touching your face. I'm like, it's easier said than done. Sometimes my stress level does go up a little bit, and I'm just like next thing you know, my eyes leaking. I'm just like, oh Lord Jesus, and then I just have to tell myself, don't touch your face. Yeah.
Because it's not only just for your skin, it's like that's how you give yourself a cold.
Yeah.
That's how COVID gets around. That's how RSV. That's how flu. All of them. Like just just don't touch your face for so many reasons.
Don't touch my face. Yeah. And yeah, so for people who have questions about hyperpigmentation, those three pillars, she said.
And all vitamin
Vitamin
C.
C,
That's,
sunscreen. Yeah, I think that's going to be the answer. And as easy as it sounds, I think people do want like this instant, like glowy look. Sometimes just because you look shiny and glowy doesn't mean you're healthy. Your skin's healthy.
but like, and again, it's about hydration. So like, so I can get into the science and I can nerd out about it. But one of the things I've learned as a business owner is like, skincare is like an iPhone. So we know that there's tech behind the iPhone, but we don't really care. We just want it to work. And skincare is the same way. So in the beginning, I used to talk a lot about the microbiome and skin pH and all of these sorts of things. And people didn't care. They just wanted to know that the products work. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I can respect that. They want to know. They don't want to know. They want to know that I know. And so that's all that they really care about. But in order to really like, see that difference, it's about that consistent care. So washing every day, but with pH balanced products so that you keep your skin hydrated. And then the way that we talk about it is just three steps: cleanse, treat, moisturize. If you can cleanse, treat, moisturize in the morning, cleanse, treat, moisturize in the afternoon or in the evening, that's literally all you have to focus on. Just those three steps.
Listen, in like 3 months. And there's like in the I'll say my hyperpigmentation now compared to where I was like 6 months ago before I started like really trying to make sure I stopped touching my face, started doing something with my skin, it has come a long way because there were days before I wouldn't walk outside and I don't think I was ever this vain before, but when you get that hyperpigmentation, you're just like I look like somebody. It looked like somebody literally punched me in my eye. It
Wow.
looked and I was just like, I need to stop touching my eye. And then I had the Danessa Myricks product, which evened out my skin tone so people couldn't see it. But when people saw me without my makeup, I could see them like, what happened? Yeah, the look came on their face like, oh, her skin's not as good as I thought it was. My skin's fine. There's just hyperpigmentation because I keep touching my eye. And then, make sure I have a sleep pattern. Yeah.
It looks really good though. Your skin looks really good.
Yeah, I will say, like before I started, like I will have to give credit to Vegan Lux Aesthetics, her skin cleanser, because I used to have all these tiny little bumps on my forehead. Like people that I don't know why people didn't see it, but if you got up close, I could feel all the tiny little bumps on my forehead. And I'm just like, I would sit there and just like rake my nails across and just like pop tiny little pimples. I'm just like, it entertained me. But then I'm just like, I don't want to age with all these little pimples on my forehead. I used her stuff for like, oh my God, I think it was, and I even joked about it, but I was quite serious. I used it for maybe 2 weeks
That,
inconsistently.
that
And it,
oh
and it
no. You have to be consistent. And once
I know, but I will say I was slightly inconsistent because it wasn't every day, but it was maybe like 4 times in the same week for like in a 7 day stretch. I used it maybe 4 of the 7 days, and it still cleared up my skin. And then after my skin was kind of like set, like everything was done. Instead of using it every day or every 4 days out of the 7 day stretch, I literally just start using it like once a week, and it's just like one simple pump, and that's it.
here's what happened to your skin because it's probably not a soap, it's a cleanser. There's a difference. And it probably kept your skin from getting too alkaline, too dry. And so as a result, your skin didn't feel the need to make more oil. And as a result, then your pores were no longer clogged. So The issue is so much of what we do that we're trying to treat all these different things. Just keep your skin healthy. Focus on skin health. Focus on keeping it balanced. It solves most of the problems that we're trying to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're probably because your skin was overproducing oil because you were at the wrong pH.
And now I'm pH out at all the right levels.
Well,
Like, and I just want to make sure, like, I just maintain this in the easiest way possible. A simple cleansers, like, and just and have healthy products that can be used time and time again, and just keep shopping there. Like, because once, like, we used to
cleanse, treat, moisturize. Cleanse, treat,
be
moisturize.
moisturized. Three things. Three things. Like, and I sit and watch these kids, and I say kids, I mean kids, like 10 years old, 12 years old, trying to have a skincare routine with like 8 products because they've seen it on TikTok. And they're doing these little back of the finger things all over their face and then pumping something else. And like, you're putting like 8 things on your skin. Your skin's not even finished growing up yet. Like,
Right. Or the thing where people are like kind of taking their skin and then dropping some like they're doing a an injection. I was like, girl, you're it's
I
top.
can't. I hate needles. That will never be me.
Yeah. It's
Just listen. If I ever get to the point where I'm okay to have somebody approach my face with a needle, so just pull me off these social media streets. Like, I just take me by the hand, walk me away, and just have me touch grass because I'm not. Um, I'm okay getting older. I'm okay aging the way my skin is meant to age, based off of like simple pillars and just healthy eating. I'm getting back into like, because what you put in your skin manifests on what you put in your body manifests on your skin, because what you're eating ends up, you sweat that out. Part of what your body's breaking down ends up in your sweat glands. Like, that water comes from inside your body. What you put in your body is going to be coming out and touching your skin. So
but
this is why I drink the amount of water that I do. This is why I'm gonna go, like, I was vegan for 11 years. So listen, I'm not sure if I'll be able to go completely vegan again, but I'll definitely be eating a lot healthier now that I am back out in these streets. Yeah.
I'm actually a vegan myself, and like I went vegan, I'm gonna say 15, 16 years ago, and I felt so good afterwards that I was like, I'm never going back. But you're actually raising something that we talk about a lot at Absolute Joy, which is what we call our 5 pillars of ageless beauty. So we talk about sleep, we talk about stress management, we talk about hydration, we talk about exercise, and we talk about a plant forward diet. And the thing is for me as a clinician, obviously, yes, these are things that are going to be important and help us with our skin, but they help with what else? Metabolic disorders like diabetes, they help with hypertension, they help with cancer, they help even like with mental health disorders. And
Yeah.
so all of these things that are about our health manifest in so many different ways. And so it's part of why we talk about these 5 pillars, because I think while people, we're all vain to a certain degree. And so while people will be more than willing to, I don't know, juice or exercise or do whatever for their skin, but it also has all of these other benefits. And so that's why we talk about it and are very holistic in our approach as to what people need to do to really, begin forward.
Yeah. I just found out the other day that there's vegan flatware, like not flatware, vegan plates and dishware versus non-vegan. Like,
That's a lie. So
no,
aren't you out here doing like looking for scams?
no, it's true. I
So you know what else is vegan? This. Why? Animal products in it. Just because there's no animal products doesn't mean that it's vegan.
know. Okay, so I found out that there are bones in ceramic tile. See? Yes. So they use ground. It's a process that, I'm not kidding. I will send it to you. Okay, so it's been a process but since like 19. I had to look this up to figure out what this man was talking about. So the Oya Lincoln was the dishware company that just had on live the other day, and when he said something about it, I was just like, take note of that, research that before I speak on it. And I literally had to look it up. Yeah, like, I don't know what they were making plates out of before. Obviously not animal bones, but they take animal bones, grind them up, and put them into and I can't remember the verbiage for it, but it's like bone something. And they said the majority of plates and ceramic tile have ground up animal bones in it. So to make plates without that, you have to be intentional about not using bones or ground up, because they take the bones and they grind it up to a powder. And some white dude in England who came up with the process. And there's white people doing some weird shit with bones. Like, but they ground up the bones. I don't know why they felt as though they needed bones. I can't remember. And I'll send you all the information. I'm not kidding. The fact that I was vegan, I had never heard of this before. I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah, I was a little like, this is some weird yeah. Now
Fear
it's real.
unlocked. New fear unlocked. Thank you. Um,
I know. So I was just like, and I was just like, I don't want to eat off of bone plates. Like, I'm just now that the reason I went vegan was for health concerns. I didn't do it for ethical reasons or animal. I truly feel like, there are people and places, especially like the people who are Inuit, Native Americans, who have used the entire animal, and sourced and hunted and used every stitch of that animal. It's not for fun. It's for livelihood and survival. So I get that, and I would never encourage someone to be vegan or plant based, or whatever you want to call it, because there's so many different sects to that rainbow. But to know that, I don't know where my mind went, but I was just like, I was absolutely disgusted for like a good 30 minutes, and I'm just like, the plates that I've been eating on have ground up bones in it.
now I know what click hole I'm going down tonight. Like,
I will sit when I tell you. I was just like, "What on earth?" Yeah, so it was a guy. I want to say, was it 1872 or 1827? Something with those weird numbers. He came up with this process of taking bones and grinding bones up
yeah,
to put in plates, and it's been a thing ever since. Yeah, I'm gonna go for yeah. Oya Lincoln have vegan plates. All of their dinnerware
good to,
vegan,
good to
no
know.
bones. I
And
just
you pulled a lot of our pictures behind you, so thank you for pulling some of my favorites.
Yeah, I was just like, because I was like, I always want to have a reel of like what some of the products are. That's the travel size, so people can make sure they can get the travel size. So if you're actually looking to get and try out some of the smaller versions and not have like do the full investment, do the travel size. Always works out. And I think I want to say it's on sale for 25 for
Mm-hmm.
25 now.
$5. Yep, and then you get a coupon for 25 off your first purchase.
So I will be trying this for the next couple of months until we run out and be like, see how this works out. Like I love trying new things, and I love the fact that you have a travel size, and like you said, in case for whatever reason you have an allergic reaction to it or something doesn't work for you, you're not completely invested into the full size. So always try the travel size.
And to be honest, we have a very generous return policy just because I know a lot of people have sensitive skin. And so, like, if you're scamming me, that's one thing. And I'm gonna find out. But if you're like, you really have like, reactions, then, we're more than happy. So, and I have a lot of customers who have purchased from me 20, 30 times. And so, especially if we come out with something new and they're like, oh, I had a reaction. I was like, send it back, sis. Don't worry about it. Like, I know you are not scamming me. And so,
Yeah,
and we're more than happy to work with our customers. The other thing, and I feel this as a business owner, so I was in corporate, and you've been in corporate environments as well. There's so many places where I think Black women in particular are not taken care of. So one of the things I wanted for my brand is to be a place where people could feel safe. They could feel taken care of. They could feel that what's being presented to them is good for them. They could feel that our customer service is respectful. They can feel that we believe them when they say something works or it doesn't work. And so that's a very important part of who we are in terms of how we do business. It's not just about the products themselves, but it's like, having that sort of mindset that every customer is a family member or
yeah,
is a potential,
have value. Yeah,
and that it's our desire to take care of her. So even as we think about things like being on Amazon, I fought that for a long time because Amazon drops kicks your products into a box and then throws them at your front door, and that's not the experience that I wanted for my customers. I wanted them to feel that everything that they were getting was a gift, although sometimes the gift is the gift of time, right? And so people said, well, Amazon's very easy, I can just like hit once. And so I said, okay, I had to let that go. But Just today, I was talking to one of the team members, and I said we never let an email go unanswered. It might take a minute, but we never let an email go unanswered, and we always are responsive. And yeah, there's a lot of nonsense that we get sometimes, but most times people are very respectful of us, and then we definitely want to return that favor. Absolutely.
Now, of all the things that with your product line and your business experience, what is a couple of things that you wish people could understand about small businesses or the skincare industry that you would say, please make sure you know XYZ before purchasing, before, yeah,
So one is like you don't have to have studied biochemistry, but read the ingredients. Know what a paraben is. If you see paraben, methyl paraben, and like there's all different types of parabens, don't get it. That's one. Two, not everything for us is bias. And when you are buying products for yourself, be willing to invest in yourself.
yeah,
Be willing to buy the better ingredients. And it doesn't have to be from me or Topicals or any of these brands, but really like know the ingredients and know frankly that you are worth it, that you are worth making that investment.
investment, yeah,
Investment is in a black business or a small business, all the better. But you really want to invest in yourself. And don't buy more, buy better.
yeah.
Right.
It doesn't have to be more. Like, and I hate to say it, those Shein hauls, like, and where are those clothes now? Like, yeah, you got a whole bunch of T-shirts for $3, but where are those clothes now?
Yeah, and the clothes are like in landfills, and you frankly deserve it. I mean, you deserve to have good quality stuff, so be willing to invest in that.
Yes, product clothes are the key. Yes. Thank you so much. Everybody, please make sure that you follow her on Instagram, on TikTok, and if you want to try out her products, I highly encourage you to get the travel size. We can try this together, and we're gonna see what my skin looks like in a couple months.
Well, you look at it now too, so I'm like, oh, I got a high bar to jump through to like.
No, the funny thing is, like I'll say this, like my skin, because my skin's so sensitive, if it's a product that doesn't work well on my skin, it kind of it immediately reacts within the first like 24 hours. My skin does not like when I say all of a sudden my skin is sensitive, and I swear I'll attribute it to either my age or my sarcoid or both. My skin is really sensitive. Yeah, I think my hot flashes keep my skin moist. Uh, yeah, just yeah.
For you, do you know about a double cleansing and how to do that? Should I take a minute to talk about that?
Go ahead, let's have that class.
Just very quickly. So the first product is an oil product. You take it, put it in your hand. You can warm it up, rub it onto dry skin, and
Okay, so that's the gel cleanser, the oil cleanser, the aloe toner.
that's the oil cleanser.
Okay.
So if you see that, that's it. Yellow. And like you'll notice, hopefully it's been sitting for a minute. If it's been sitting, you'll see there's a little bit of moringa on the bottom, and the rest of it is sunflower oil. So I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, there's like a weird little separation there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the moringa oil. So shake it up, but it's a combination of the moringa and the sunflower oil because the moringa is very rich in antioxidants. And so you just take it and you apply it to dry skin. Take your time. Sing the ABCs twice. All right. While you massage it into your skin, use it as an opportunity to give yourself a daily massage. All right.
Okay.
Get the makeup off of your eyes. Work on the lines in your face. Work on all of this. Do all of this for a full minute. ABCs twice, and not A B C D F G. A B
The
C
whole song with the gel cleanser
oil cleanse
twice.
with the oil
Oil,
cleanse.
sorry, oil cleanser.
Right.
Oil cleanser twice. Sing the ABCs two times.
Right. And again, use it as a time to like give yourself a facial massage. Right? Don't rush through. You deserve 5 minutes. Don't
We
rush.
deserve to be pampered. I'm going for pampering in 2026. Like all good things for me. Yes.
Then rinse that off. And
Hmm.
you can just take the gel cleanser and the gel cleanser similarly. Now this one will foam up. That's that one. So this
This is why I waited for this before I asked you how to use this. So I didn't. So I was just like, that's just, yeah. And I reading, I know is fundamental, but I was just like, yeah, there's some cards there.
Let's put an instruction card in there. Anyway, so then and then like basically then you wash your skin the way you regularly would with the gel cleanser. And again, take a full minute. Slow down. You deserve 5 minutes. Then you rinse that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing is the toner. And the reason why you need the toner is made with aloe. It is made with hyaluronic acid. It is made with oat. For those of you who have eczema, you know that oat calms your skin. The reason why your skin is naturally acidic, has a low pH, washing it raises the pH, but aloe and all of those ingredients bring it back down to its naturally acidic pH. Why? Because then whatever you use afterwards, whether it is glycolic acid, lactic acid, retinol, vitamin C, which is sorbic acid. All of those are acids,
Mm-hmm.
work best on skin which is acidic. So that's why you need the toner to bring your skin back down to your acidic level.
Okay, now question: does it make a difference if we use now? Does it make a difference if you use your hands or a clean cloth? Does it make a difference?
If your hands are clean, use your hands.
Okay, so prioritize using your hands. So the order, make sure I get this right. Oil cleanser first. Yeah. So oil cleanser first, but I have to make sure I shake it up because if you can see what she's talking about, can you see that tin at the bottom? So I there is like a little air bubble that I can use to help shake that up. So oil cleanser first. Sing the ABCs twice. That's 2 minutes of just rubbing this into the skin. Two
Even
whole
one
minutes.
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, but sing the ABCs twice.
Right.
Then the opaque one, which is the gel cleanser, which you said foams up. Oh, sorry. Make sure you get this right because I need instructions. Use this first. This is the oil cleanser. What sing the ABCs twice, rub it into your skin with clean hands, and then wash it off with water. See? Specificity. Yeah, because there's people out there like me. Next, the opaque one, because we're going to go with the colors. The opaque one is the one in the middle. You take that and you rub it into your hands and rub it into your skin for a minute. Take your time, 1 whole minute. And
ABC.
then it
Yep.
foams up
Yep.
and then wash off with water.
Yep. Or you can use the cloth if you want.
Okay. Finally, this is the aloe toner. Now notice there's no thing at the bottom. There's no separation of like yeah. So this is the aloe toner. Just rub it into your skin, massage it all the way in, take my time, 1 whole minute, and then do not wash it off. That's it.
Dry, it will balance, and then just put on whatever moisturizer.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah. But people are like, watch twice. I was like, your face is not worth 5 minutes? Like,
Listen, like the things people do out here in these social media streets, you can take 5 minutes out for yourself. Pamper yourself a little bit.
yeah, no, deserve it.
And somebody said travel size. Yes, I am everywhere and have hard time keeping up with routines due to the size. Yeah, I say get travel size and a whole bunch of things. This way you can take it with you. Like and it sounds crazy, but I have travel size of barbecue sauce that I got from. I'm not kidding. Capital, what was it? Capital barbecue sauce. They have these little travel size jams. When I tell you between that and the sample packets from what's his name? Uh Niger Grill Spice Mix, put that in every purse you have. Anytime I'm somewhere and the food doesn't hit, don't worry. I got sauce and spices. I
That's
listen. I'm
hilarious.
not. I will not be caught off guard. People are like, oh, it needs. This is dry. It's okay. I'll put some sauce on that. I got it in my bag, travel size. People are like, why do you carry that? So I know I'm eating good food. I don't want to eat nasty food, or just I'll improve upon the recipe. Yeah.
A good old hot sauce, but she's like, nah, I'm taking it up another level. I'm going.
Listen, when I saw that was I think I want to say Capital Mamba sauce. It's one of the brands that's in the. I'm not shopping at Target anytime in the near future until there's an apology or something happening. But of to be intentional about my shopping and to still make sure that I'm supporting the businesses that are still in Target, even though I'm not going there, I shop directly on their website. And Capital, I want to say it's Capital Mamba sauce. I keep wanting to think Capital One because like, but that's credit card. But it's like Capital Mamba sauce. Love that sauce. I get this. I get the spicy or the hot, and it's not hot hot. It just comes with. It has a good sweet heat. It's not overwhelming. It's not overpowering. It's not going to burn your mouth down. It is so flavorful. Oh my god! I flew to go visit my mom one day, and for the dinner tray that they gave us, I poured it over the pasta. When I tell you that took that pasta up 18 different notches. Yes,
Is
yeah.
it Mamba sauce or Mambo sauce? Because you know I'm in DC.
Mom, I think it's Mambas. Hold on, look, don't get me to lying. Um, and it's in the guide under Target. Did I purchase it on this phone? Capital. I have to put in the comments when I go to post this. I'll put it in the comments when after I post it so people know what I'm talking about. And people they're like, why is she talking? They're gonna wonder why I tagged them in a video where we're talking about skincare. Baby, because you got travel size. Thank you so much. I ordered yeah,
Now with our mambo sauce, so you can't like talk about mamba sauce when you mean
yeah.
mambo.
I always think it's Mambo. I think it's Mambo. Yeah. Yes, I have SD, and this is very helpful. So that's like makeup remover. Yes, that was the what was that? That was the oil cleanser. It's kind of like a makeup remover. Yes.
Exactly.
To make sure I get everybody's questions. And there a is there a particular hold on? Is there a particular age range your products are best suited for? Good question.
No, we're targeted for 35 and up. Because just as you were saying, like in those early years, there's a lot of acne. And so what we're targeting is the fact that like a lot of, frankly, white women will start to think about anti-aging as young as in their 20s. We tend to not think about it until we're in our 30s or even 40s. And so at that age,
There's Dee Dee.
you're past the acne age. And so what we're really trying to focus on is thinking about skin longevity and prevention. And so our target is 35 and up among women of color.
Yeah, I listen. I didn't start thinking about my skin until like honestly 2 years ago. Like I don't even think it was 2 years ago. Could have been a year and a half ago. Like I was just like, yeah, I sweat. It keeps my skin moist. And when I when I say when I was younger, I was traveling around the world a lot. When I in my early 20s, just traveling a lot. I would just use any soap at the hotel on my face.
God,
And
you're killing, you're killing me.
that's what everybody says. And people are just like, how does your skin look as good as it does? I'm like, I don't know. Jeans
Because when I used to travel a lot, I would change. You go to different cities. The change of the minerals in the
in
skin
the
with
water. Yeah.
more set my skin off. And so that's part of why I needed to have that toner because the change in the minerals changes the pH of the water, which changes the microbiome in your skin. So by having that pH balance and set based on the toner, it's what really chilled my skin out. But it was because I was traveling a lot, especially if like you go to Europe, especially if you're like from say New York where the water is really good, but then you go to Europe where it's just a lot of minerals there. So that toner helps to balance your skin, especially if you
You
travel.
know, the difference between going from either like my grandmother used to live in upstate New York in Buffalo. The water quality in Buffalo, New York, completely different than in New Jersey, Philadelphia region. And then I don't even know what is happening to the water in Colorado. That water was so hard. I was just like, it was stripping my skin. I was just like, what is, but I still didn't care. I was just using the soap. Like I was using if there was soap in a hotel, I would use it on my face. And people are just like, what were you thinking? I'm like, I don't know, just soap. I'm bathing every day, twice a day.
Like also affects your hair. So it's not just our skin, but like a lot of people, if they move from a soft water environment to a hard water environment, they'll talk about their hair starts to break and it's brittle and just feels dry. That's all the minerals. It
This
makes it.
Vegas also. Oh my god, my uncle lives in Vegas, and I'm just like, I love my uncle. He's my favorite uncle, and yes, we have favorites. Yeah, yeah. Parents lie. They have their favorite children. They just don't want to say it. I'm a child. I have favorite aunts and uncles. My uncle Michael is my favorite uncle. Yeah. The reality is like everywhere you go, the water's going to be different, and you get accustomed to dealing with the water where you are and treating your skin based on where you consider home. So when you start traveling and leaving your home, even if you go like 30 miles away, or stay at a hotel in a like this neighboring state, it's gonna things are different.
Yep.
Things are different.
So
Yeah,
I think like Hollywood stars are crazy because they would wash their skin with or wash their face with bottled water. Now I understand why. Because they have to look good and their skin is getting used to one thing, so they just have to have that bottled water.
have bottled water everywhere they go. Yeah. she just she goes, please drop the link for Absolute Joy, absolutejoy.com.
Yep, absolutejoy.com, www.absolutejoi.com.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much, and thank you so much for coming and giving us all this information. Yeah, we're gonna be using this. Oops! Don't
So,
drop it. Don't
so
drop
those are glass. Do not drop those.
it. These are. So like, don't drop it. Don't drop it. We don't deal with plastic over here. This is glass.
the,
Yeah.
the big bottles are plastic, but I was like, I want them to feel like elegant and special and like nice and like, they're glass. And I'm like, oh, please don't drop those in your bathroom.
Yeah, do not drop. I'm trying to think what it's 20 milliliters, so it's
Yeah.
less than 3 ounces.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can fit in your that little travel bag. So when you go through airport security, or I don't know who else's security that you may need, or 3 ounces or less. But yeah, absolutejoy.com, and try them out. Get the travel size, and they're on sale. Love that. Girl loves a sale. But stay tuned, because yeah, we're gonna kick it up a notch over here on these social media streets, and start literally just saying which ads are scams, and show you the legitimate businesses behind them, the real people that are working and actually doing the work, because we just lost another business. For those of you who are familiar with Style Pantry recently closed down after being in business for 9 years. And personal reasons why she had shut down her business, I think for people who are in their email list, they know the story. But I think Style Pantry was one of the businesses I spoke of in the very beginning of my platform, because her content was stolen so much. Like, people didn't know where to go shopping, but you literally just have to know to go shopping at shops FK SP shops shop FKSP style.com to go shopping. If you go on our website right now, we have partnered with Style Pantry to help them with their last sale items up to 60% off. So if you want to go and buy some last minute clothing that's on a great sale right now, by March 31st, that whatever is left over like that, they're just closing their doors, and she's going to focus on taking care of her family and being there for family. And if you want to follow her, you can follow her, Folake Hooten, on Instagram, TikTok, as well as I'm like Substack. She's going to have a Substack account as well. So once she's ready to start posting again. So yeah, we're gonna kick it up a notch, because oh my god, there's so many scams out here. And the small businesses, you guys need as much brand awareness, and yeah, just I want people to keep talking about you. I just want people to keep talking about.
Well,
And
we
we're gonna talk about these in a second. I'm gonna be like, rubbing, taking moments for myself.
You deserve 5 minutes. Well, my sister is like not a skincare girly at all. She's like, but I was like, really, your face doesn't deserve 5 minutes, sis? Really?
5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And the idea that black don't crack is a lie. We have seen some cracked out black people, and we all know it. We all have at least one cousin. We have at least one cousin. You're just like, girl, just some moisturizer would do you good.
No. Well, black may not crack, but it does sag and get hyperpigmented. So we still need our anti-aging.
Yeah, so we're going to be working on having healthier skin with healthier options, and yeah, we're going to try this out.
Okay.
And I promise I won't drop them.
Yeah.
She says, no, listen, everybody's got a cracked out cousin. Everyone's got a cousin, and you're just like, girl, you're just like, girl, here's some moisturizer, just just a little bit on Tuesday would help you out. Yeah.
With that not even bar soap, hotel bar soap, not even the Dove. So, I'm not talking to you anymore.
And the funny thing is, I did do that Dove 7-day test. That was horrible. Oh my god, that was the worst thing my skin could have experienced. I don't even think I made the 7 days. I think I made it to the fourth day, and I had to quit because I was just like, what?
So cleansers, not soap. Cleansers, not soap. On that, on that note,
Stay tuned and stick around, see what my skin looks like in about 2 months.
I'm excited. All right.
Okay. All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks again. Bye.